What's good? What's good? It's your brother King Ray Ray back up in the building again, man. Y'all put a one in the chat. If you can hear me loud and clear, man, go ahead and stick a one in the chat for me, man. We are in here doing our thing once again. Blessings to you all. Salute to the brothers of the kingdom. I appreciate y'all being in the joint. Hey, listen, man, if you want to be a part of this live stream, first, y'all put a one in the chat if y'all can hear me loud and clear, man. Let's make sure we got everything going on. All right, listen. If you want to be a part of this live chat, man, the most phenomenal live chat on the platform, go ahead to the main channel page on the King Ray Ray Show channel. Next to the subscribe button, you'll see a join button. Click the join button. Go into the kiosk. Become a member. Come on back. There is no more spiritually charged, spiritually uplifting, spiritually beneficial live chat on this particular platform. So let's get ready to do it. The Money Boys in the building. Markel, what's good, young brother? Good to see you in the joint. Royalty, what's good with you, man? Three Kings, I see you, man. Building omnipotent self-sufficiency, I see you, man. Ira Immortal, The Trap, It's done. Joker, what's good? All right, man. Let's get it, people. Another 15 seconds, man. We're going to go ahead and get in. Let's get ready for it, man. Let's get ready for it. You know, as adults, we come into a space in life where I'm not centered. Hold up. Let me get centered. As adults, we come into a space in life where we let things outside of us make us forget how easy it is to dig within ourselves to find the motivation that we need to make it through our days. Now, under normal circumstances, we can kind of relax our way and rest our way and vacation our way out of these mindsets. But when you get back to your regular life, you still got to deal with the fact that you lack the motivation you need. And the thing is, the motivation has been there since childhood. You know, as adults, especially in the West, we get to the point where we get too big for our britches, so to speak. We feel like we're too old to rely on those things that we learned from our childhood. But don't you understand that the most impressionable times in your life were when you were a child? Those were your absolute best times to learn whatever you were going to learn, whatever you turned out to be. The foundation of it was built and solidified during that phase of your life. So today we're going to talk about the spiritual connection with Crowd for Success has been in you since birth. And we're going to use 15 examples of childhood motivations you were given that you stopped thinking about as a child. You care too much about certain things. You don't care enough about other things. You believe certain things that you were already taught as a child not to believe. And not only that, they have played out in your life. And now some of you are in situations where you're not as far along as you wanted to be, and then you're looking and saying you need motivation. No, you don't need motivation. You need instruction. You need correction. Only motivation you need is the motivation to do the thing that you already know is the right thing. See, you can't do the wrong thing and expect the result of someone who does the right thing. That's not how life works. You've never seen a well-rested man fall asleep behind the wheel of his car. You've never seen it. You never seen a man who doesn't consume flesh develop gout. So let's get into these things. The first one is this, man. This will keep you from being concerned about what other people say about you. It's really simple. You care too much when people tell you that's not going to work. That's not any good. You shouldn't do that. What are you doing? That's not going to work. Nobody's ever done that before. What are you doing? Why are you trying it? It's not going to work. You're not good enough. You're not tall enough. You're not fly enough. You're not strong enough. You're not smart enough. You're not focused enough. You're not patient enough. You're always not something enough. But there's one reason, and you've been taught this as a child, why no one's words about you, no one's direct insinuation that you can't do what you're planning to do should ever affect you. Because I'm rubber, you're glue. Whatever you say bounces off me and sticks to you. When someone says something negative about your journey, they're wishing that on their own journey. When someone says you can't accomplish something, it's because they know they can't accomplish something. And even if they thought they could, they can't now because they just wished it upon themselves. See, you can't wish no ill will on me. You wish ill will on yourself. Everything you wish goes wrong with someone else, that's what's going to go wrong with you. Everything they wish goes wrong with you, that's what's going to go wrong with them. So you ain't got time to be worried about what people saying, because one thing that'll never happen, nobody's words against you can ever stop you from achieving what you want to achieve. Nobody's negative connotations placed around whatever you're doing makes it not be positive in your life. Unless you forget, I'm rubber, you're glue. Whatever you say bounces off me and sticks right to you. And I'm going to stay right here. Throw all the insults you want to. Throw all the negative energy you want to. It's going to bounce right off of me and stick to you. And I'm going to be here to watch it. I want to see it. I want to see you be the glue. I want to see you be the glue. Nothing better in the world than to watch somebody, boy, think they're hurling something at you and watch them be the glue. You can't upset me. You the glue. How am I be upset by some glue? How am I going to be upset by you throwing insults at me when all they're going to do is bounce off me and stick to you? Famo, salute. And even more than that, if you don't want to be the rubber and let them be the glue, sticks and stones may break my bones, but your words would never hurt me. I don't care what you say. It doesn't matter. You didn't make me. You didn't create me. You didn't give me my skills. You didn't bless me with my gifts. You didn't bless me with my motivation. You didn't give me my know-how. You didn't give me my determination. You didn't give me my spirit to succeed. You didn't give me my grind to never quit. You didn't give me my energy to keep going even when it seems like the weight of the world is on my shoulders. You didn't give me that, so you can't take it with your mere words. Stop letting people's words hurt you. If they true, they shouldn't hurt you because it's the truth. If they wrong, they shouldn't hurt you because they don't know what they're talking about. Truth can't hurt you unless you don't accept it and don't embrace it. So if someone knows your truth and they say it, so what? It's your truth. Woo, I'm glad you said that, boy. I get to get a load off. I'm tired of holding that in. I'm glad you did it for me. I don't know if I was going to be able to do it. Thank you so much, sir. Or ma'am, thank you so much. I'm not worrying about your words. I'm trying to stay out of the way of them sticks and stones that'll break my bones. And see, here's why you can't do this. There's something else you were taught as a child that keeps you from remembering that you're rubber and they're glue. That keeps you from remembering sticks and stones can break your bones, but words can never hurt you. That thing is, everybody ain't your friend. Put a one in the chat if somebody done told you that. If grandma done told you that. If grandpa done told you that. If mama done told you that. If daddy done told you that. If uncle done told you that. If auntie done told you that. Put in the chat one. Put a one in the chat if somebody has told you everybody ain't your friend when you were growing up. Because we've all heard it. We've all heard it. I've heard it so much, man. I tell youngsters that right now. I tell my son that everybody ain't your friend. Everybody ain't your friend, man. Some of the people who act like your friend, they just know that you believe they're your friend. And so they're going to take advantage of it. That's how you end up being successful and people around you just hanging on. They're only around because you become successful and you found out the very moment that you didn't have that success anymore or the level of success that they wanted to be attached to, they were gone with the wind. They were gone, man. Now I want you to put a 2 in the chat if you ever ignored it. If you ever been burnt by someone you thought was a friend. Put a 2 in the chat if you ever been betrayed by someone you thought was a friend. Put a 2 in the chat. Have you ever been misled or misguided by someone you thought was a friend? Put a 2 in the chat. Have you ever been misused by someone you thought was a friend? Put a 2 in the chat if you'd ever had to go to war with somebody you thought was a friend. See, here's the main thing you got to understand. You dealt with that because you ignored these simple childhood teachings. These were valuable lessons. Some of the most valuable lessons you learned in life were put to you as a riddle. And you know what happened? You get too grown to worry about them riddles. You get too grown to keep using those things. How you gonna stop using something that's always worked? You found out young, everybody ain't your friend. Normally, when you were told this, it was because somebody you thought was your friend acted shady with you. And they said, don't, and what grandma said, don't worry about it, baby. Everybody ain't your friend. I had a huge family, whole lot of cousins. My grandma used to tell her, you don't need no friends. Look at all them friends you got out there. They're about 17, 18. You got 16, 17 friends out there. Go ahead on out there. Them are all your friends right there. Anybody who can't come to my house and walk right in the front door ain't your friend. The reality of it is this, man. You have to not forget the things that you already know because you think you're so smart that you don't have to rely on those things you learned as a child. You're not that smart because there are a whole lot of things that come into play before you get to be smart. You're human. You have emotions. You have imperfections or things that you think are imperfections. So there's always the battle with self-esteem, always the battle with self-love, always the battle with self-care. And sometimes always the battle with self-respect. So you have to remember these things. These things will help you along your path, so you need less motivation. See, the problem with motivation is everybody don't even need motivation. Some of you need correction. Some of you need instruction. Some of you need direction. Some of you need guidance. Some of you need to humble yourselves and remember these things you learned that you've been knowing since a child, that you still making mistakes that you were taught not to make as a child. You should look at yourself and you should really be ashamed that you are putting yourself through things that you learned as a child and now you're seeking motivation. You don't need to be motivated as much as you think you do. You need to correct the things that are wrong. Another thing, even when you ain't got nobody, so what if they won't play with you? Play by yourself. Boy, my son was an expert at that. He was an expert at that. Go to school, man. Kids be acting like, hey, man, they don't want to play. Man, he go and create something so super fun, man. And then they come want to play with him. They come over there and play. He said, go sit down. Then they go back and do what they doing. He go back over there and play his fun game, which is even more fun now because he realizes they don't want to play. Now, at this age, 4 or 5 years old, you don't know why it's fun. You just realize, boy, this is so much fun. And then they come back and try to play again. He go sit down on them. Teacher done called me talking about, Adrian, he's being antisocial. I said, well, what happened? Well, the kids wouldn't play with him, so he wouldn't play by himself. Then the kids try to play with him, and he wouldn't play with them. I said, woman, are you nuts? You just said they didn't want to play with him. You don't get to pick and choose when you interact with somebody. They get to pick and choose when you interact with them. Now he don't want to play with them because he's having fun by himself. I took my boy to get a caramel apple when I picked him up from school that day, man. He earned that apple right there. He earned that apple. So when you really think about it, man, you are taught these things. And here's how that benefits you as an adult. If they want, sometimes you're going to be on a mission and nobody's going to support it. Nobody's going to believe in it. Nobody's going to think you can do it. Nobody's going to want you to do it. Nobody's going to care if you do it. Nobody's going to care if you fail. So what? You care about all those things. You do it yourself. You support yourself. You be in it yourself. You believe in yourself. You keep grinding yourself. You don't need people to be around to tell you that you're going to make it. Here's the thing. If somebody tells you, oh boy, you going to make it, are you going to believe that? Are you just going to say, well, I'm going to make it because they say I'm going to make it? I can't even get to work that hard. That person has predicted that I'm going to make it. No, you are not going to take their word. You're not going to let them influence you to stop working. You're never going to do that. You're never going to let them stop you from working because you know you got to put the work in. So why if they tell you not going to make it, do you believe that? I ain't never heard of nothing like this. You don't believe it when they say you going to make it. You're like, you don't know if I'm make it or not. But when they say you ain't going to make it, you believe it because you don't remember. If they won't play with you, fine. Play by yourself. If they won't work with you, fine. Work by yourself. If they won't grow with you, fine. Grow by yourself. If they won't learn with you, fine. Learn by yourself. If they won't travel with you, fine. Travel by yourself. If they won't study with you, fine. Study by yourself. Because you came into this world by yourself and you're going to leave it by yourself. So in the meantime, remember these self-motivation principles that you learned as a child. You learn these early on in life. You learn these early on in life. Don't take a rocket scientist to figure this out. Here's another one you learn. And this is for you when you become a boss or you're on your way to being a boss. You got to remember to keep a humble outlook on your success because you catch more bees with honey than you do with vinegar. Vinegar is bitter. Vinegar is hard going down, boy. It don't feel too good going down. The taste is kind of ratchet. It ain't quite right. But honey is the perfect combination of sweetness, tartness, and it's got this consistency that makes it smooth going down. You catch more bees with honey, meaning you get a better result from people if you interact with them from a positive perspective in the beginning. The book of Proverbs states, a soft word, a soft answer turneth away wrath, which means it don't really matter how enraged someone is. It don't really matter what they got going on. You treat people with fairness and respect from the beginning. Now, if they prove they're not worthy of that, cool. You eliminate those people. See, if you're trying to catch bees, you don't want to catch no spiders. You don't want to catch no flies. You don't want to catch no cockroaches. You're trying to catch bees. So you don't want to put nothing out there to attract them other animals. You ain't trying to catch no locusts. You're trying to catch bees. So bees are the people that you want to be in your life. Bees are the people that you want to be on your journey. Bees are the people that you want to be in your corner. Bees are the people that you want to be purveyors of positive energy in your life. You attract the people you want in your life by being the type of person who attracts those type of people. I say again, you attract the people you want in your life by being the type of person who attracts those people. It's not rocket science at all. It's not rocket science. It's never been rocket science. It's easy. You catch more bees with honey. So if you got negative people in your life, you were negative. If you got lazy people in your life, you were lazy. If you got non-believing people in your life, you didn't believe. If you got non-focused people in your life, you ain't focused. If you got content people in your life, you're content. If you got non-spiritually astute people in your life, guess what? You're not spiritually astute. You determine who's in your life by being the type of person that you want in your life. You ain't never seen a flock of seagulls flying out with an eagle? You ain't never seen a family of seals swimming out with a great white shark or orca for that matter. You attract what you are. And that's 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Now, how do you do that? How do you catch more bees with honey? They told you how to catch more bees with honey. How you gonna have honey all the time when people are this and people are that? And you gonna have honey because if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. That's how you keep from putting negative energy into the world. They told you, grandma told you how to not put negative energy into the world. Because remember, you get from the world what you put out into it. The energy you put into the world comes back to you. So if you don't have anything nice to say, keep your stuff to yourself. It don't matter if you have a negative thought. They didn't say don't have a negative thought about someone. Don't think about how someone truly is. It says if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all because that thought does not become a negative energy in the world until you put it out there with your mouth. Before you put it out there with your mouth, it ain't hurting nobody. It ain't doing nobody no harm. You got to make sure you're strong enough and wise enough and smart enough and care enough about your future and your well-being and everybody around you and everything you got going on that you ain't going to put no negative energy into the world saying something about somebody that don't make no sense. If you ain't got nothing nice to say, don't say nothing at all. It's real simple, ain't it? Until you feel like you too grown to remember. You too strong. You too old to remember that. You can't be living by those little childish sayings. You can't. Why come you can't live by them? The inner child in you is the foundation of who you are. He's still in there. She's still in there. Your inner child is in there. What are you running from yourself for? When you're running from your inner child, you're running from yourself. That's why you can't know who you are internally because you don't want to embrace yourself internally. You got to embrace that inner child. That inner child has all of the lessons that you needed to build your life upon. So if you're not where you want to be, you forgot those lessons. You ignored those lessons. You think you're too grown for those lessons. But let me tell you something about those lessons. Those lessons lead to your blessings. I say again, all those childhood lessons lead to your adulthood blessings. You don't need to be motivated. You need to sit down and relax and understand that you need to be re-educated. And that's what we're doing today. This is a re-education on all the valuable life lessons we learned as children that can still benefit us until the day we leave here. You were born, you were put here, you were born with everything you needed to succeed. But you ignored some of the foundational principles that would have helped you avoid so many pitfalls in life, that would help you avoid so many obstacles and so many things that made you want to give up, man. You don't have to live that way. And let me tell y'all something right now. There's no truer saying that's ever been known than this. That's why those of us who grow up without fathers, I mean, I had my father, but those of us who grew up without fathers, we have a tougher time with it. You have to figure out some things you shouldn't have had to figure out, some things that a father would have told you. Why? Because father knows best. Father knows best. Now, see, here's the thing. If you didn't have a father, you don't know that one. But if you did, you know that you've heard this, father knows best. Father knows best. See, growing up where I'm from, father knows best. Father ran the household. When you got a problem out there and you need to go face in the world, father knows best. If you're a boy, mama can't tell you never how to deal with the world because the world ain't the same for her as it is for you. The world wasn't the same for her as it was for your pops. Father knows best when it comes to what you need to do out here. That's why so many men who out here, so many young men, man, they out here seeking. And let me tell you something. Don't let nobody shame you, man, by saying, man, you out here looking for a daddy. If you ain't had no daddy, okay, that's fine. They out here looking for money if they grew up broke, right? Sometimes they out here looking for money because they grew up without her. She wasn't very effective. It's okay, man, to accept that you grew up without something, and there are parts of information and pieces of life lessons that are in guidance and all of these things, man, that are missing from your life. It's okay to accept that. We go back up to sticks and stone may break your bone, but word will never hurt you. I'm rubber, you're glue. Whatever you say, bounce off me and stick to you. Don't let nobody shame you for knowing what you need in your life. If you know you need that in your life, find that in your life. Find that in your life. Don't let anybody tell you, man, you wrong for finding what you know you need in your life. If you lack something in your life, go find it. If nobody ever told you how to eat healthy, guess what? You may be 400-500 pounds, but if you know you need that, go find it. Nobody ever tell you don't find out how to get lean. Nobody ever tell you don't find out how to get in shape if you don't know it. Nobody ever tell you, no, don't worry about how trying to cook no meal. Don't get no cookbook. You don't worry about cooking. No, they tell you to go find it. It's okay to find what you need. Same people who tell you, hey, you don't need to don't look for no father figure. Same people try to tell you how to make money. Same people try to tell you how to do other things. Same people try to tell you how to invest in real estate. Same people try to tell you how to do all kinds of things, how to tie your shoe. Same people tell you how to build a house. Same people try to tell you how to put a TV stand. They want to tell you everything, but they don't want you to be okay with finding what you need. That's why you got to remember, Father knows best. And if you didn't have one, you got to find somebody that's going to give you the information that you missed from yours. That's what you got to do. Am I saying you got to call somebody daddy? No, I'm saying you got to find somebody, and that's why we got to stop looking at the guys who are stepdads. We got to stop looking at stepfathers the way we look at them, because not all of them are being used and abused and taken advantage of in those situations. Some of those men are doing a great service. Not all of us are built to do that, and that's fine. Some of those guys are built to do that. Some of us are built to do other things, but I can guarantee you there are some young men and even some young women who are benefiting from that. Sometimes you got to sacrifice. Those guys are willing to make the ultimate sacrifice. And so I say sometimes we got to stop always trying to attack everybody for everything they do. Just think if there were no stepdads at all anywhere, think about how many men would be lost. If there was no stepdad, we wouldn't have a Shaquille O'Neal. And we bring up Shaq all the time, and that's cool. But I know men right now personally who have children. They've been in their children's life ever since they were born. You know what them children call them? Daddy. You know what they call the guy who created them? By his first name. Still talk to him, but none of the other. Just talk to him just because he planted the seed. But that's it. So we can't always look at men who are in situations just because we don't want to be in the situation and we don't like it. We still have to look at it and say that man is benefiting someone in that situation. Even it don't matter if he don't get no thanks. You know how many things I've done in life and didn't get no thanks for it? That's okay. You know how many people I've influenced and didn't get no thanks for it? This ain't about thanks. Your thanks come from the blessings that God give you for the things that you achieve in life. Your motivation is what God gives you, not what man gives you. Your motivation is the thanks that God give you, not the thanks that man give you. Your motivation is the appreciation that God give you, not the appreciation that man gives you. If you're getting appreciation from God and you understand it and recognize it, you don't need the appreciation from man. You don't need it. So let's start remembering that even though a man may be in a position that you don't envy, that man is doing a great service to society, because if it wasn't for those guys, boy, the world would be in a much worse place. There would be many more men lost. There will be many more women lost. There will be many. Boy, you think it's bad now? Just imagine if there were no men at all willing to step into that situation and try to school and instruct some kids who didn't have that in their lives. All right. Now, another thing you learn. So remember, father knows best. And if you ain't got no father, maybe stepfather does know best. Let's listen. You were also taught this. This is why you don't see me all around hanging out and congregating with people I don't know. See, it's hard for me to act like I know you when I ain't never met you. It's hard for me to act like that when I only see you at a certain place. Unless we interact on a regular basis, like here in the kingdom, I interact with you men on a regular basis. Every time I'm here, you're here. Every time I'm here, you're here. If I'm ever in one of you guys' city, man, then y'all already know we gonna link up. We gonna sit down. We gonna do something. We gonna chop it up. You know that already. And we don't do nothing but grab a bite with two little baddies that look just right. We gonna do something because we have built a rapport in here on a daily basis. But when you're talking about someone else, when you're talking about, hey man, I see you online, you see me online, we gonna kick it. No, why? We ain't never even done no work together. We ain't never even like if I don't see you every day in here, or we don't talk behind the scenes, and we don't email, we don't talk, we don't WhatsApp or none of that, it is hard for me to say, okay, we could do whatever. I don't know your history. I need to know your history. I need to have talked to you enough where enough things came out of your mouth to let me know what kind of person you truly are. It don't take long. It don't take long. Because when men are talking, when men are conversing, men always put their best foot forward. Like men always represent themselves the best way. That's just what we do naturally. Instinctively, we represent ourselves the best way. So don't talk to strangers. If I don't know you, man, we ain't talking. If I don't know you, man, we ain't working. And I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I'm gonna be perfectly honest with you. I don't know what the end result of none of this is gonna be. I don't know what the end result of life is gonna be. But I'm gonna tell you like this. I ain't showing up on no platforms until I am influential enough for you to pay me an appearance fee. If you ain't paying an appearance fee, I ain't coming. I'm cool with my tribe. See, here's the thing about it. I'm so cool with my tribe. I'm so cool with the kingdom. I'm so cool with the atmosphere being exactly who we are that I'm not coming nowhere else acting like I'm a part of your tribe. No, it's gonna have to be a business arrangement. So I'm not going anywhere and showing up on any space, any platform, any podcast, anything without an appearance fee. I'm just not doing it. And if I ain't big enough for an appearance fee, fine. I just keep grinding. If I'm not influential enough for an appearance fee, fine. I just keep grinding. Because if I don't know you, it's not a personal relationship. It's a business relationship. And ain't no business if ain't no money changing hands. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with other people feeling that way. If I invited somebody on that was huge, I would pay them to come on. If they got an appearance fee, I would pay that appearance fee if I wanted them on. Because I do what? I treat others as I wish to be treated. You don't treat others how you think they ought to be treated. You treat others the way you wish to be treated. And if you aren't dealing with people who you feel like should be treated that way, you're dealing with the wrong people anyway. Now you can't just treat anybody the way you wish to be treated. You got to have people around you that deserve to be treated the way you want to be treated. So it can be a mutual exchange of positive interaction. If you have the wrong type of people around you, it'll kill your motivation. It'll kill your drive to succeed to accomplish the things you want to accomplish. It'll push you to the wayside so far that you won't even know whether you're coming or going. You'll forget the path you're on. You'll forget the direction you need to be going. You'll start focusing on something else, man, losing valuable time out of your life and off your journey. And let me tell you something, a journey, it moves. It's not something that sits still, it moves. And the years it take you to get that thing moving like a locomotive, I'm talking about it's going, man, moving like an Amtrak train. When you see it moving like that, and then you get pulled to the wayside by having the wrong people around you, people who don't even deserve to be treated how you want to be treated, people that don't even deserve to be treated like in any kind of positive way, but you got them around you treating them positive while they treat you negative. Before you know it, that locomotive has slowed down and is moving like a turtle, like a tortoise, man. And let me tell y'all something, man. Once you let that thing slow down from locomotive speed to the speed of a tortoise, you ain't got the motivation, willpower, determination to push it back to locomotive speed. And here's why. You got to deal with the fallout of looking back over all of the things you allowed to take place that made it slow down to a tortoise speed. You got to remember that surrounding yourself with the wrong people is the biggest detriment to your motivation, the biggest detriment to your success, the biggest detriment to your life. So you can't afford to do that. See, the problem is when you have the wrong people around you, it's because you do the one thing that you were told never to do. You were told never judge a book by its cover. You got to take time to get to know someone. That's how we go back to don't talk to strangers. You don't talk to strangers because you're talking to a stranger. You have judged a book by its cover and you have considered someone that you don't know as worthy of interacting with on a relaxed, open, vulnerable way, level, perspective, dynamic. You don't know that person. So you can't judge a book by its cover. You can't know who someone is until you open the pages of who they are. You got to read a few pages. You got to skip a few chapters and skim through that thing and go to the middle of the book, from the beginning of the book to the end of the book. You got to go through there. You got to go to the table of contents at least and see what the chapters are titled. If you go in there and you look at a chapter and it's titled, "The Time I Betrayed My Best Friend," you need to take pause. That needs to give you pause. Wait a minute. You betrayed your best friend? But we're too busy judging a book by its cover. When you're looking at someone, you got to ask your question: would I like this person if I couldn't see him, if I couldn't hear him? Would I like this person? Is their energy positive enough for me to want it around me? When you judge a book by its cover, you think you got the Bible, and you really got a book of spells because you didn't open the book and see. You got a book of incantations. You got a book of evil because you're too busy judging the book by its pretty cover. A lot of people could be nice when there's something to gain, but who is that person when there's nothing to gain? What kind of person are you when you don't have anything to gain by being what you think you need to be in this situation? When you don't have any benefit to transforming yourself into somebody else because you want to be a part of somebody else's locomotion. You ain't moving fast, so you want to jump on somebody else's train. You letting all these people jump on your train, and you don't even know who they are. You don't even know. They take you all the way down through there, and now your money looking funny and everything else. You have lost the blessings that you have earned from God, because God ain't gonna give you no blessings you don't earn. That's why you got to remember this one thing, man. We always talk about making money. Well, everybody's always talking about making money. Let me tell you something. A penny saved is a penny earned. Have you ever heard that? A penny saved is a penny earned. A penny saved is a penny earned. If you're making 10,000 a month, you're supposed to automatically save 3,500. Automatically. 10,000 a month, you're supposed to automatically save 3,500. Period. Or 4,000. 3,500, 4,000 supposed to automatically 3,000 at the least. But 3,500, 4,000 supposed to automatically save that. If you can't save that, you better get rid of some things. Man, let me tell you something. I will let some get repoed or let some get foreclosed on before I'm in a situation where I can't pay myself them 3,500 a month off 10,000. And off 20,000, you pay yourself 7,000. Off 100,000, you pay yourself 35,000. You see what I'm saying? That's the number. 35,000 to 4,000. If I can't give that percentage, that 35, 40%, I'm finna let some stuff go. I deal with that. The credit report stuff fall off. It's better to listen. It's better to have questionable credit and have some paper than it is to have no paper but have an 800 credit score. Who the hell who cares about 800 credit score when you ain't got no money to do? You can't even invest no money. All your money going out. You made a mistake. You readjust because a penny saved is a penny earned. You know, it's a terrible thing how many people don't have 10 bands in savings. It's terrible. It's terrible how many people don't have 10,000 in savings, man. It takes everybody at least that much to make it for 6 months. So most people don't even have that in savings, man. And I'm gonna be honest with you. It's not because most people can't. It's because most people don't remember a penny saved is the penny earned. I would suggest that whenever you get some money, man, you get rid of all your cash. When it's cash, move it around. Man, listen, I know people, man, that ain't had a debit card in 20, 30 years. Literally. Of course, they older guys, they OGs, but they getting money. And they ain't had a debit card in 20 or 30 years. If they do want some cash, they go to the bank. They got to go all the way to the bank and withdraw it out. So all that overnight withdrawing and being somewhere and you got to pull some cash out. Nope, they don't do it. Because once you get money, you don't need cash. They got credit cards. They want to do something, they get a credit card. They put when they gas their car up, put it on a credit card. Got a gas card. Whole household got a gas card. They just pay that off every month. Withdrawing money from the bank don't make no sense because everything is plastic now. You know what I'm saying? Everything is technology based. So what do you have to do with cash? What do you have to pay with cash? You mean tell me you want to go to you want to go get gas, have to get out the car and go in the store and pay? And then get some money out of that, out of the register that's been through how many hands? That don't make sense. So a penny saved is a penny earned. Once money hits your account, it should never come out no more. You should never be making cash withdrawals. Who makes a cash withdrawal? Even you want to send somebody something, people send stuff through Zelle and Cash App. Tell me why you making cash withdrawals. A penny saved is a penny earned. A penny saved is a penny earned. The goal for everybody in here right now, if you ain't got 10 bands saved, it's for you to have 10 bands in your saving by the end of the year. People gonna say 10 bands ain't nothing. The majority of people ain't got it, so it's got to be something. And anybody who's saying 10 bands ain't nothing, I bet they ain't got 10 bands. Because anybody who got 10 bands saved know that that feels good. It feels good when you got at least 10 bands put back. It feels good. It don't matter how rich you are. Now, once you get to a certain point, you keep putting the 10 band back, putting the 10 before you know you got 100 bands back. But life is a journey, man. It's a journey to success. You got to use all these lessons to get there. And one of the most important ones is eventually you want to start making money, and a penny saved is a penny earned is the most important one. You got to know what to do with it once you make it. Money boy just made a great point. As you get older, you realize it's really nothing to spend your money on but food and investment. There's nothing to spend your money on, but and when you think about spending money, investment ain't spending. Investment is investing. But spending money on that you'll never get back, that's the only thing that is, man. Only thing there is spend money on is food. And I'm gonna be honest with you, if you eat clean enough and eat healthy enough, then food don't cost that much. It costs a little bit more when you buy it at the store, but it's so nutritional and it lasts so much longer that you eat less. So you spend less money overall over time. And so when people say, "Well, I don't do that. I take this and I do this and I do that and everybody else doing it, so I'm gonna do it." If such and such jumped off the bridge, would you jump off too? It don't matter what they doing. Everybody can do whatever they want to do. But why you got to do what everybody doing? What's the purpose in doing what everybody doing? Everybody dress a certain way, you dress that way. Everybody drive a certain car, you drive that car. Everybody talk a certain talk, you talk that talk. Everybody invest in a certain stock, you invest in that stock. What's the purpose in doing that? Who benefits from you following everybody else? Because you know there's no end result. If everybody's going a certain path, there ain't enough payoff at the end for everybody. Some people just traveling, wasting time. If such and such jumped off a bridge, would you, Mom, what's calling them? They going? Well, if they jumped off a bridge, would you go? Would you jump too? They mama said they can go. Well, I don't care what they mama said them. I ain't concerned about them. I'm concerned about you. You can't go. Then they get over there and something happen. And now you look and saying, you know what? If I had jumped off that bridge, I'd have been in trouble just like them. Everybody ain't meant to be a leader of everybody, but we all meant to be a leader of ourselves. We're all meant to be a leader of ourselves because no one can lead you every step of the way. We're meant to take the wisdom, understanding, knowledge that we get from the Most High and lead ourselves. Now we're gonna need some information and some guidance in some things, yes. But you were put here to be a leader. You gotta lead yourself. Nobody can lead you to make good grades. Nobody can lead you to take your time and stay out of trouble. Nobody can lead you to do that. You got to make decisions. You got to make decisions when you see all the people jumping off that bridge that you ain't going nowhere near the edge of that bridge. You ain't even going to the edge to see what happened to them when they jump off. They jumped off a bridge. You can guess what happened. When they jumping off the bridge, you backing up away from the bridge. Because you ain't got time to play games. You ain't got time to play games. Another thing you learn, you're worrying about the end result too much. You're worrying about what's going to happen the next day. You're worrying about what's going to happen next time. You're worrying about what's going to happen if you do this. Oh, I could do that, but what if this happened? Okay, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. How many times have you heard, don't worry about that. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Why you worrying about what's going to happen at step 5 when you on step 2? Do step 3 and 4 first. We'll worry about step 5. You never know how step 3 and 4 are going to affect step 5. Step 5 look daunting from step 2, but from step 4, step 5 is just a little bitty step. From step 2, step 5 is a woo, boy, that's a big jump. But from step 4, step 5, man, step 5, step 4, right next to each other. All I got to do is shimmy over to the side a little bit. Don't worry about things that don't affect today. Today, you got to give all of your attention to this day. Don't worry about tomorrow, because when tomorrow comes, you got to give all your attention to it tomorrow. Give everything you got to today. What is that you could do today to further your progress? What is that you could do today to make yourself feel more comfortable in the position you're in? What is it you could do today to make yourself embrace your mission more? What is it you could do today to eliminate the negative energy and negative people from your life? What is it you could do today to invite the positive energy and the positive people into your life? What is it that you could do today to manage your money a whole lot better? What is it you do today to make a little bit more money, or to make sure that you are governing the money that you have properly? What is it that you can do today for today? And if you do that well enough, tomorrow starts off a little bit ahead. The goal is to start off every day a little bit ahead, not a little bit behind. And you do that by crossing that bridge when you get to it. We ain't worrying about what's going to happen over there. We'll cross that bridge. Well, what if this happened when I do that? We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Well, what if they say this when I say this? We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Well, what if I had to think about this after this? We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Why are you worrying about crossing the bridge when you ain't even got to the river yet? The bridge don't matter until you get to the river. The bridge don't matter until you get to the river. One of the greatest things that you've been told, and this is why you have to be open and honest about who you are, what you want, what you represent. One of the greatest things you've been told is what you do in the dark will come to the light. That's why you got to be open and honest with people in business. That's why you got to be open and honest with people in your personal relationship. That's why you got to be open and honest with your woman or your man in intimate relationship. You got to be open and honest about who you are, because what you do in the dark will come to the light. You can't be misleading people. You can't be misusing people. You can't be mistreating people. You can't be miseducating people. You can't be misguiding people. What you do in the dark will come to the light. It don't matter what kind of Ponzi scheme has ever been run, it has always come to the light. It don't matter what kind of double life you've lived, it has always come to the light. It don't matter what kind of exaggeration you've always done, it always comes to the light. It always comes to the light. That's what the light is for. The light is to show things. Darkness don't find light, light finds darkness. So what they were telling you is stop trying to be crooked. Don't try to be crooked. Don't try to be evil. Don't do the wrong thing to people. Don't try to get over on people. What you do in the darkness will come to the light. And the problem is, when it comes to the light, you have to do everything with all your might to get over that thing, man. You have to do the right thing because the right thing is the right thing to do. You have to be the best version of yourself, and being the best version of yourself is the best thing to do. You have to self-motivate because self-motivation is the best thing to do. You have to speak things and think things and act things into existence because that's the right thing to do. You got to rely on the Most High because it's the right thing to do. You got to build that positive relationship with God so He can bless you with peace of mind because it's the right thing to do. You got to be humble in your dealings with people because it's the right thing to do. Now, let me tell you something, man. We're going to wrap this up with this. When you're a kid, and you say grace at school. At least when I was coming up, it starts off with God is great. God is good. Let us thank him for our food. But we're going to take the thanking for our food off. And we're going to stick with God is great. God is good. There is no one who is good except God. There is no one who is great except God. There is no legend except God. And when I'm talking about God, you know I'm talking about Jehovah. I know y'all want to call him a whole bunch of other things, but the God I'm talking about is Jehovah. If that ain't the God you talking about, we talking about two different gods, I do believe. If you don't think, that's on you. If you don't think I'm talking about the same God you're talking about, fine. But if you ain't calling him Jehovah, you call him in the wrong name. So when we talk about God is great, God is good, man, listen, man. When you think about the things you've gone through and the obstacles you've been able to overcome and the things that other people couldn't overcome, but you did, and the pitfalls that other people couldn't avoid that you did, and the trials and tribulations and traps that other people couldn't escape, but you did. That's because of the goodness of God, not because of the goodness of you. That's because of the goodness of God, not because of the goodness of you. When God brought the children of Israel out of Egypt, he didn't say, I'm bringing you out of here, man, to bless you and make you my chosen people because you so good. I bring you out of here because you so weak and oppressed. I bring you out here because you so needy. I claim you as my people because you're the most humble. So you making out of things in life, man, stop patting your back, giving yourself props. You didn't make it out of nothing. God saw fit to bring you out of that thing. Because it was so easy to get out, you would be able to package it and sell it in a book about how other people can get out of it, but you can't. You can, but it ain't going to help nearly nobody. The only way you can navigate the obstacles of society and overcome the obstacles, especially the insurmountable ones, the seemingly insurmountable ones, is to develop a positive relationship with God, man. When they tell you God is great, God is good, boy, that should have stuck with you forever. It should stuck with you forever. When you see people you grew up with falling to the wayside. As you get older, you're going to see people you grew up with, man, I'm talking about just leaving here. And they ain't even that old, man. I'm telling you, man, I know so many people, man, that just passing away in their 50s, man. Come on, bro. The 50s? 50 is young. I know people in their 80s, man, that wish they could to go back to being 50. To them, 50 was young. They still felt young. They still lived young. But see, if you forget to remember that God is great, God is good, then you forget how to live that life. And when we add to let us thinking for our food, what food? Not that stuff you buy in a box at the store. That ain't food. Food grows on the ground. Food either grows on the ground or eat what grows on the ground. Anything other than that ain't food, man. That's just the reality of it. So when you remember how good God is, how great God is, man, you should be spending every day of your life thanking God for the things that he's provided for you in your life. That's what you should be. You should be spending every day. And you should just randomly think of things that God has done for you, man. Randomly. Because if it wasn't for the goodness of God, I, just like you, don't know where in the world I would be. I've done enough things to end up in the wrong place. I've done enough things to end up in a jail. I've done enough things to end up in a cell. I've done enough things to end up in a hell. I've done enough things because other people have ended up in those places who have done what I've done and less. But yet here I am. Here I stand because of the goodness of God, not because of the goodness of me, because I am not good at all. I'm trying to make up for the time that I spent being the type of man I shouldn't have been. That's why when it comes to motivation, I say, why are you not motivated? You still here. You still blessed. You got life. You got strength. You got health. You can pursue wealth. What are you doing? What do you mean you need to be motivated? Motivated to do what? Motivated to do what exactly? You need to think about the blessing that you have of being able to strive still, of being able to be alive still, of being able to thrive still. What are you waiting on, man? You wasting time in life worrying about what you ain't got instead of focusing on the thing that you got and the things that you can use to help you move ahead to where you choose to be. There is no need to be worried about what you don't have. Because it ain't going to benefit you, man. It ain't going to benefit you. So I want y'all to take these lessons, man. Number one, I'm rubber, you're glue. Whatever you say bounce off of me, sticks to you. People word can't hurt you. You ain't even worrying about their words because they're talking about themselves. Sticks and stone may break my bone, but your words will never hurt me. Again, who cares what they say? Because everybody ain't your friend. Remember that. Everybody ain't your friend. You know who your friend is? The people who prove that they're your friend over time. You have to make sure that that person is your friend. Number four, so what if they won't play with you? Play by yourself. As an adult, that turns into, so what if they don't work with you? Work by yourself. So what if they won't strive with you? Strive by yourself. So what if they won't grind with you? Grind by yourself. Because when you grind by yourself, you shine by yourself. Remember that. Number five, you catch more bees with honey. And it ain't even funny. When you out here and you're trying to have people in your life, man, they're going to give some to it and not take some from it. You got to remember that you have to be the type of person that you want to be in your life. Be in your world. Be on your grind. Be on your journey. Be at your finish line. Number six, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all, man. Let me tell you something. You speak your negative energy into the world, and just like when you're rubber and they're glue, when you speak your negativity out there, then they're rubber and you're glue. Whatever you say bounce off them and sticks back to you. It goes both ways. It ain't just benefiting you. You got to strive to reap the benefits of these things. And you've been knowing them since you were a child. So what you waiting on? Start striving today. Number seven. Father knows best. If you didn't have a father, you got to find somebody to be in that space. We got to stop giving stepfathers a hard time because a bunch of those stepfathers, the difference between a stepdad and a stepfather, obviously, the words dad and father. Look them up and see what they mean. Number eight, don't talk to strangers. Why you don't talk to strangers? Because you don't know who they are. How you going to talk to them about what? What are you going to talk to them about? About what? Now, I'm not saying if you somewhere that's like a meet and greet, a business meet and greet, or that's different. You know what I'm talking about? What I'm talking about is don't try to befriend strangers. That's what it means. Don't try to befriend strangers. A stranger would try to befriend you. It's kind of like back then, it was like some adult trying to offer you some candy. No, don't talk to strangers. Some adult trying to offer you some fun, offer you a toy, offer you. No, don't talk to strangers, which means don't befriend strangers. Don't let strangers befriend you. Friendship is earned. Friendship is a very important relationship in your life, is a very important position. And so you have to make sure that you're making people earn that. Number nine, treat others the way you wish to be treated. You got to have people around you that deserve to be treated the way you wish to be treated. In other words, you got to use that honey to get them bees that you want to be around you so you can treat them the way you wish to be treated because they're going to interact with you the same way in return. Number 10, never judge a book by its cover. When you judge a book by its cover, that's how you end up talking to strangers. That's how you end up befriending people that you don't know. That's how you end up looking at everything on the surface, not knowing what's beneath. And that's how you end up getting caught up every time. Number 11, a penny saved is a penny earned. Hey, man, it don't matter how much you make. It don't matter how much you save. And then when it matter how much you save, then it matter how much you invest. If you ain't saving, you ain't investing. That's just the true bottom of it. Because investing is saving. It's just saving with the potential to grow. So a penny saved is a penny earned. Don't worry about making a whole lot more money. Worry about trying to save a whole lot more money. But I tell people all the time, I was just telling somebody this earlier, man, budget. You don't know what you got. You think you're in financial straits, but you don't budget, and then realize, damn, I spent a lot of money over there. I got that money. I ain't even got to spend that no more. That's money that you got in the pocket. Budget. Create a budget. Not just create a budget on what you be spending. Create a budget on what you can spend. Limit your spending. If you know you're spending $1,000 a month on eating out, hey man, you better take that down to 100. Even lower than that. If it was me, take that down to 100. You know what I'm saying? You got $25 to spend on eating out on every weekend. You got $25 to spend eating out every weekend. That's 4 weekends a month most times. Sometimes it's five, but that fifth weekend, you just ain't gonna be able to do nothing. But that's $100, $25 a weekend to eat out on the weekends. The rest of the week, you need to be managing what you eat and eating at the crib where you can make stuff in bulk. And if you're eating clean, it ain't gonna be that expensive. Number 12. If such and such jumped off a bridge, would you jump too? Stop being a follower of evil people. People are going in the wrong direction. Why are you following people that are going in the wrong direction? You know they're going in the wrong direction. Anytime you can say, well, things didn't change and start dealing with these people, you need to check yourself. 13. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Yep, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. We ain't worrying about the bridge until we hit a river. When we hit a river, then we got to start wondering if it's a bridge. We own the path we need to be on. We got to figure out how to get across the river, regardless if there's a bridge there or not. It don't matter about the bridge. So why we worrying about that bridge if we ain't got to it yet? We'll worry about that river when we get to that bridge and we see what condition that bridge in. Cause some kind of way we got to make it across that river. Even if we got to go the long way around, we still got to get across that river. So why we worrying about it? Number 14, what you do in the darkness will come to light. You can't be around here trying to take advantage of people and get over on people and think it ain't gonna never come out because listen, one lie earns another lie and earns another lie. And before you know it, you run out of good lies. You can tell a bunch of lies, then you start telling crazy lies that don't make sense. And at that point, you stop making sense so people get to look back at your trail of lies. Whatever you do in the dark will come to light. Trust me, man. Trust me. Just whatever you're gonna do. Am I saying share your whole life with the whole world? No, I'm talking about in your interaction with people, keep it a buck with them. Number 15. God is great. God is good. Let us thank him for our food and everything else. Hey, brothers, we're going to get ready to slide on out of here, man. I appreciate y'all being in the joint, man. Hey, it's been a phenomenal show, man. So we'll stick to this early morning motivation stuff, man. It feels good, man. It hits just right, man. We kind of floating in the zone, man. It's a great way to start off the day, man. So look, I appreciate everybody being in the joint. Famo, appreciate you, man. Appreciate you doing the work. King Abraham, I saw you, man. Let me run up here and get these couple of super chats, man, before we head on out of here, man. So let's see what we got. Got a few super chats. Mike D, appreciate the dime. 100, much appreciated. Truth. You are most responsible for you. Indeed, you are. Indeed, you are. Appreciate it, brother. Ice Cold G, salute, man. Good to see you in the joint. It's been a minute. Appreciate the dub. Salute, King Ray Ray. I appreciate all the work you do, brother, to help our spiritual path. All thanks to the Most High for this message. Need to get on the call with you soon. All right, brother. I'm looking forward to it, man. I'm looking forward to it. I appreciate you, man. Appreciate you showing up. LaFrance, what's good, man? It's been a minute for you as well, too, man. Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate the fire bone. Hope all is well. BOA finally made it to a live video. Salute, man. I appreciate you. Been a minute. Good to see you guys in here, man. Really, it really is. Heated reports. Appreciate the fire bone. What's good with you as well, bro? Love your videos, OG. It keeps locked in, focus on this road. We need more people like this on YouTube. Glad you Old Testament only. That hit different. Yeah, man. It hit a whole lot different. You know what I'm saying? We'll take a dive on that too, man. So I may come back on a little bit later, man, today, man, and jump into some proverbs or what we may do, man, we may start saving the proverbs to the weekend or something, maybe on Sunday or something. We'll do proverbs on Saturday and Sunday. That's what we'll do to keep from running through it. Because I want to give once we run through a couple of chapters, man, I want to give you guys time to meditate on it, man, and see how it applies to your life, and then we'll get back to it like the next weekend. And JB, look, salute, brother. Good to see you in here as well. It's been a minute, man. Appreciate the Fit the Bone sponsorship of the show, my brother. I really do appreciate it. Streams have been phenomenal on both channels. Appreciating all the wisdom and knowledge. Salute to you, brother. I appreciate it, man. I appreciate you showing up, man. It's been a minute for you, man. And it's always good to see you guys in here, man. Because believe it or not, man, sometimes it's been a minute I see you. Since I seen you guys, man, I be wondering what you're up to, man. How you building, how you growing, man. Because I know you're out there doing positive things, man. And so I appreciate you, brothers, again, man. Salute to the brother JB Lux for the $50 sponsorship of the show, man. It's good seeing you in here, man. Famo, I appreciate you, brother. I really do, man. Just for always in here, man. When you can be in here, man, doing the work, brother. I appreciate you, man. We're gonna have to link up on the back end, Famo, man. We chop it up, man. We'll try to put something together, brother. Hey, listen, man. I appreciate y'all, man. Let's go ahead and get out of here. I know some of y'all got to get back to your grind, man. I got to get back to mine. I appreciate it, man. Let's get ready to head on out of here, man. Peace.